Hi, welcome back to Awkward Real Estate Videos. Today we're going to talk about love letters, which is something that's been going on for a little while now.
Yep.
My question is, are they love letters or are they liability letters?
That's a good question.
Okay.
Yep.
So, in a multiple offer situation,
Yep.
Some buyers may think that a love letter would set them apart from everyone else. And just so you know, I looked up a number, 74.5% of all listings had multiple offers since 2001.
Oh, wow.
That's a big number. And a lot of that is attributed to the pandemic,
Yep.
real estate craze. But I'm curious about
2021.
21, yes,
Yeah.
sorry. How you approach that with your clients.
The love letters.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's what I think. So I do think love letters work. I mean, I've been using love letters probably for 8 years. And I think the first time I used a love letter was with a client that was in a multiple offer situation. And this was when it wasn't like a big deal. I'd be 3 offers in and maybe somebody would go 10,000, like a doomsday scenario of $10,000 over. And I had clients who said, we've heard about this love letter thing. Why don't we write a little letter about ourselves? And they wrote a little letter about themselves. And it turns out when they submitted the love letter that they were working on an initiative project for a school. My client was a school teacher. And she'd worked on this initiative, for a school project, and she included that in a love letter. And when the sellers opened her love letter, they were now using that initiative as part of their school program. So it was funding for their school program. So my clients had the worst offer, the worst number, and they said to the agent, they said they will make sure they get the house. So it did float them to the top of the pile. And then we had to renegotiate, and they basically leapfrogged over the other 2 offers. So ever since that, I mean, they definitely do work. However, I think things have changed in the last 8 years as far as how they can be used, how they should be used.
Yeah. So
right?
I have one experience where a love letter worked.
Mm-hmm.
And my clients were not the highest offer, but the other bidders were developers or, they're just kind of flippers.
Yep.
And the seller wanted it to go to a family.
Yeah.
However, I mean, that's dangerous.
Yes.
Everyone is so litigious these days.
Mm-hmm.
In the back of my mind, I think sometimes that I want to black out all the personal information.
Yep.
And have it just be the numbers.
Right.
And I don't know if that's the direction we're headed or not. But love letters are dangerous. Oregon has banned love letters.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know.
Well, I mean, I've also seen on the seller side, I mean, we all get the sellers who will say, well, I want to know about every single buyer and who they are, where they're from, do they have children? Are they going to use this same house that I've used my house for the 12 years that I've been here or the 50 years that I've been here?
Yeah, well, they look at it as a home.
Yep.
As opposed to a house.
That's right.
It's not 4 walls and a roof. It's where little Jimmy, skinned his knee and he learned how to ride his bike in the driveway.
Yes.
They want another family to have that same experience. But then, I mean, family is a contentious subject too. Because what if, I don't know, there's so many things that I would recommend my clients not do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had an older client too, who was asked to interview everybody that's coming to the house and would like to bid on the house. So I think we sort of see the gamut. I think the reality of the situation is we've been told by our legal department and our office that they are illegal to use. They break all fair housing laws, because I've certainly been on the other side where I've had clients who have said, we're worried we're not going to get it because we're not fitting that model that the seller is expecting. we might be buying this huge 5-bedroom house and it's just me and my spouse. Like we might be discriminated against because we're not going to be using it the same way as them. So we really can't use love letters. We can't.
Yeah. I mean,
letters.
I think if a buyer client is intent on doing this.
Yep.
Then I think we need to focus on a qualification letter.
Yep.
As opposed to more of a familial family letter.
Yes.
But just so you know, I looked on Etsy and I typed in real estate love letter template.
Yep.
And they sell templates on there for people, where you stick your family photo here. Here's where the dog goes. Here's where the smiling kids go. And
that's right.
It's like those obnoxious letters that your relatives send you at Christmas.
Right.
And they tell you all the wonderful things that your niece or nephew has done all year, and they have a little picture of, stuff like that.
That's right.
It's a slippery slope.
It's a very slippery
It has worked
slope.
in the past.
It has worked in the past. I will tell you, as a seller's agent, I do not submit them to my sellers anymore. And I tell them,
is that an issue though?
You have love letters that came in with the offer. I told, the agents not to submit them. They are here. They should know better. You really should know better than to do a love letter.
Are you putting on your listings anywhere no love letters?
No, I'm not. I mean, it should just be like an understood. However, I will also tell you that I have buyers who ask to put in a love letter, and I will allow them to do that. And I will attach it to the offer because a lot of the listing agents are still submitting them. And I don't want my buyers to be at a disadvantage. And I do think it still works when they say, I mean, being totally honest, I just submitted an offer 5 days ago with a beautiful love letter attached right to the top.
Did you get the listing?
It wasn't a listing.
Did you get the property?
I did. Yes. Yeah. It's a very slippery slope.
Yeah.
But as a listing agent, I don't ever submit them to my seller.
I have a tendency to ramble on.
Yep.
And I know that most people don't watch videos of this length. So, nutshell. Do you recommend them for your buyers?
If they ask if they can write one, I will not discourage them.
Okay, but you don't suggest it as a tactic.
I do not. No.
Okay. They scare me.
They're not supposed to be happening, but they still do.
Okay. So those are our opinions.
Yep.
Not legal fact or anything like that.
That's right.
They're merely, we do not represent Coldwell Banker. It's just two independent contractors having a conversation on a Thursday afternoon.
That's right.
Okay. Yep. Thank you, Liz Walters of Coldwell Banker.
Well, thank you. This is fun.